I'm going to try to work. Okay, let's go ahead and stand up. Feet. So also having your weights around the ring or a band, whatever you have. And hopefully next week I can have better light going on for you guys. Okay, grounding the feet down, press the floor away from you. Take a nice big inhale up. Exhale just to slowly let it all out. One more time, big inhale up. Exhale, small, just roll over to your toes. Soften the knees as you start to fold forward. So not killing the hamstrings yet. So little bend in the knees. And bring the hands maybe to the shins, to the floor, and just have a moment there. Your forward fold, rocking into your toes and into your heels. And then from here, let's walk the hands out to your plank position as I climb out to the reformer. Slide the shoulder blades away from the ears, draw the abs up and in, nice long neck. And again, you're going to rock forward on your toes and press back through your heels. Forward and press back and forward. Zip the abs up and in one more time like that. And then you're going to lift your sits bones high for downward dog and run the knees out here. So stretch it out. And then press the heels back, roll forward back into your plank, finding your strong plank position, long neck, draw the abs up and in. Feel your ribs come up into your body so they knit together. Float the right leg up, point the toes, little pulses up. Little lifts. And lower that leg, other leg up, point and lift. And lower that leg back to downward dog. Take a breath there. So if that's your rest position is in downward dog. And one more time, we'll roll forward back into our plank. From here, we're going to take the right hand, tap the left shoulder, slow and controlled, and place it back down. And then other side, small over and over, alternating sides, but minimal movement in your pelvis. So you could do this fast and be rocking all over. I want the pelvis to stay so still. One more time each way. And bring it back to the center. We're going to step the right foot forward into the hands and then just take the right hand up to the sky. Take the stretch here. And breathe. Reach those right fingertips up to the sky. Pull your left or your right thigh in just a little bit for stability. And then bring that hand back down. You're going to just step that foot back. Hold here. Draw the abs in. And then step the left foot forward. Take the left hand up to the sky, take the stretch, unraveling in your spine. Maybe because I need to stretch open. I feel like you guys need to get a little stretch open. Reach those fingers up to the sky. And then bring that hand back down, step back into your plank. Strong plank here. And then start to bend your elbows slow, slow. Go really slow as you make your way all the way down to the mat. And then lower all the way down and relax. Fold the forearms together, make a little pillow for your forehead and shake out your pelvis. Letting go of all the tension in your pelvis. Let your abs first start to just melt into the mat. Feel everything let go and then feel the hip points press down, feel your pubic bone press down and feel your belly button draw up into your spine. So you feel your abs lift off of the floor and then release. Again, press the pelvis down, pull the abs up and in, and hold the abs up and in, pulling your belly button to your spine, start to squeeze your pelvic floor muscles, and release. One more time like that. Drawing the abs up and in, holding there, and then float the right leg up, engaging the glute to lift, but press the right hip point down, and lower, and left side, and lower. So alternating sides at your own pace, and think about your pelvis pressing down into the mat. Feel your abs draw up and in, and then you move the leg. Because you could easily move your leg up and down. That's not a huge challenge. It's can you stay in your Pilates form with your abs drawn in, pelvis still, and using your glute to lift that leg. Point the toes and let the leg get a little bit longer. Last one each side. And then we're going to float both legs up off the mat. Draw the abs in. Lift both legs, stay long with the legs, energy out through the toes, and then draw circles, stirring them away from each other. They go in opposite directions. And then reverse that. And then lower the legs down, shake the pelvis out. Bend the knees, glue the heels together, turn the toes out slightly. Head is relaxed, and then float the thighs up off the mat and lower. Lift the thighs and lower, pushing the heels together and bringing the heels a little closer to your bum. So activating your backside. When your glutes don't work, the low back wants to work. So the glutes need to be strong to keep you moving around all day and support you. And then hold it up in tiny pulses. Little tiny lifts. Draw the abs in. Think high top of the booty for 10. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Extend the legs long and shake the pelvis out. Extend the arms long to the front. Slide the shoulder blades away from the ears. Draw the abs up and in. And with keeping the pelvis still, we're going to float the arms and legs up off the mat. Slide the shoulder blades down. Draw the abs in longer through the legs from the booty. And then small swim. Starting with a slow swim. Let the neck be long. Alternating arm and leg. Little kick. 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 And a little bit faster. Goes kick, 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 kick for 10. Long neck. Lift the chest a little bit higher, and then we'll lower everything all the way down, gently press back to a child's pose. And take a breath there. Reaching the fingertips long to the front, rest your forehead to the mat, booty to your heels, and find length in your spine. We want to always be working on the length. We don't want to make this muscle shorter and more compact. We want to find the length and then strengthen within that length. So stretching is so important in it too. One more breath there. And then you're going to roll up onto your hands and knees. Knees underneath your pelvis, hands underneath your shoulders, and rounding into your cat stretch. And head up, tail up for your cow. And into your cat. Pulling your belly button up into your spine. Into your cow. And then back into your neutral. Let the abs hang out. And then magnetize your belly button up into your spine. Again, abs just completely loosen. And then feel how you can pull your transverse abdominis up into your spine. One more time. Your pelvic floor also starts to activate. You loosen, and then you activate, drawing the abs in. Lift out of your pelvic floor. Slide the shoulder blades down. Extend the right arm and the left leg at the same time. And get a little longer from your fingertips to your toes. And then bring it back to center without moving your pelvis. Other side. You lengthen. Find that activation, get a little bit longer, and back to center. So moving opposite arm, opposite leg with minimal movement in your pelvis. So your cup of tea can balance on your sacrum, on top of your bum, without letting it spill side to side. The neck is long because your head's an extension of your spine, so keep it lengthened. Maybe there's a cup of espresso resting on the back of your skull as well. The next time we get to right arm, we're going to hold it long. So hopefully here we are, we hold it long, draw the abs in, get a little bit longer, and now pull the knee into the elbow underneath your belly and extend long. Can you relax your right foot as you do it? You pull in, extend, and in, extend. One more like that. Lengthen, hold, and bring it back to center. Other side, left arm, right leg. Find your length first. Find the pelvis being still, and then round and go back to that moment of still and stable. Draw in, extend. So you contract the abs to pull in, and then you lengthen. And last one. And bring it back to center and round your spine into your cat and into your cow. And back to neutral. Roll the toes under, draw the abs up and in, slide the shoulder blades away from the ears. And we'll hover the knees and inch up off the mat. So just staying in your hover, feel how your abs draw up and in. Get really long through your spine. So that's out through your tail and out through the top of your head for 5, 4, abs in 3, 2, and last one. Knees down. Turn the fingertips to the back. So the fingertips go towards your knees and then shift back slightly, stretching out the forearms. And back to center. Fingertips to the front. Shoulders down the spine. Rotate so the eye of the elbow is slightly facing forward. Hover the knees and inch out. Shift your weight slightly forward. Micro bend your elbows backwards and straighten. They go backwards and straighten. So you're in your triceps. Bend and press. I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to get sweaty. I shouldn't have worn a sweatshirt for a 3. And last one, knees down. Back of the hand goes onto the mat now. Fingertips to your knees. And then a little circle here. So stretching out the wrist and the forearm in a way that doesn't normally get stretched to reverse your circle. So small movement, because it probably doesn't feel great. So staying within your range of motion, but start to feel that opening. And bring it back to center and bring the hands back to the mat. Last one here, we're going to be lifting one leg up. So if that feels like it's too much, you stay with what you were, one of the first 2 options. Otherwise, let's go back to our hover, pull the right knee into the chest, and then kick the right leg long. Pull it in, kick it long. So the left knee stays in that hover. 3 more like that. So you get that left quad is working too. Come back to your hover, left knee pulls to the chest, and then activate that left glute to kick it out. Pull the abs in as the right quad gets some extra love for 3, 2, last one. Come back to your hover, hold, 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 knees down, press back child's pose. Take a breath. And then let's come all the way up. And come onto your booty and grab your ring, your band, whatever you have. So if you don't have anything, you don't have anything, and that's totally fine. Let's sit up tall on our sits bones. Legs are long, and then press the arms forward. So you could be squeezing, you could be on the inside, your choice. It's just to wake up the back. So it's just to bring some awareness. Lift out of your sits bones, pressing them down, get super long and tall, and then either press or squeeze. Today I want to press it. But if you have something to press out, do that as well. I want you to think about back where the shoulder blades are pulling down the spine, the bottom of the shoulder blades. Think about that area. Lift a little bit taller, pull those low abs in, almost like you think you could just levitate up off of the seat. And then hold however you have it. So keep that activation, tuck your pelvis and start to press your low back towards the mat. You're gonna start to round down, vertebra by vertebra by vertebra, all the way down to the mat. Hands are over the shoulders, squeeze, and then draw the abs in and roll up to your halfway point. Holding at your halfway point and roll all the way down. Inhale, exhale, roll up to your halfway point. Pull the belly and squeeze pelvic floor and roll all the way down. One more time, we're gonna stay at the halfway point, come up to that halfway point and hold. And again, just press out. You're sliding your tailbone underneath you. Draw the abs in and breathe for 5. And last one, roll all the way up to sit and over to your toes and take a stretch forward. Take a little moment there. Ooh, the tightness is real today. Sit up tall, lengthen the arms above the head with whatever you have, slide the shoulders down, and then imagine your spine can get longer out of your pelvis. So your abs turn on just to make you sit up longer and taller. Reach the fingertips to the sky and then just press in or press out. Your biceps are alongside your ears. Breathe for 5. And last one, reaching the arms forward, scoop and roll back halfway. Twisting your torso only. Legs stay still. Torso twist over to the right. Push the left sits bone down. Come a little more to the right, a little more to the right. And then rotate back to center. And then push the right sits bone down as you reach over to the left. Twist, twist, twist. And bring it back to center. Go back on micro inch. And we twist and rotate. And return to center. And twist and rotate. So legs stay still. Shoulders stay down. Bring it back to center. Go back one tiny, tiny inch. Soften the legs. From the hips to the toes, everything stays still. Twist to the right. Twist a little further, a little bit further, a little bit further. And rotate back to center. And the other side, twist, 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 twist. Unravel back to center and roll up and over to your toes. Take a stretch forward and hook onto your right foot. Time to open up through the legs and roll all the way down and take the right leg up to the sky. And we'll get a little bit loose before we dive back into the abs, even though abs have been working the whole time, even when it's not the direct focus, because all day long, the abs are working to support you without you having to think, engage my abs. So you want the abs just to automatically turn on. That's what Pilates is doing. Bend and straighten that leg. So when the abs don't want to work, your low back is working on overdrive and killing. And then hold that leg straight. And let's bring it back a little bit further. Pushing the right sits bone forward, bring that leg back a little bit further. Shoulders relax. Can you get just a little more length out of that hamstring? Not yanking on it, but just gently coaxing it open so it won't be gripping while we're doing our ab exercises. And we'll release that, hook it to the toes for calf stretch. Pulling the toes down, heel to the sky. So make sure you're not on your hamstring stretch anymore, so you can lower the leg a little bit and just pull the toes back to the shin. And point and flex there. And hold the toes down, heel to the sky. And then back to the center of the foot, spiraling the leg open and out to the side for your inner thigh stretch. Pushing your left hip down, lengthen out of your right inner thigh. Keep your left shoulder to the mat. And breathe. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then we'll lengthen that leg up to the sky. Anchor the back pocket down. Push your right sits bone forward and let the leg come a little bit across the body. Any amount that doesn't make your right booty cheek lift off the mat and your right shoulder. So everything stays down and the leg just crosses over a little bit. Breathe. Last breath. On the exhale, you'll melt into a spinal twist. So you can put whatever you're stretching with to the side and let the leg just fall across the body. Keep the right shoulder down, looking in the opposite direction. And then extend that right leg back out to straight. And it's feeling so much longer than the left. Hold on to your ring and then roll up and over, catching onto the left leg. I don't know about you guys, but that stretches everything. And breathe. Melting in to stretching out the left side now. I'm sure you guys do this every day on your own, so this is no big deal, but I haven't melted into this stretch in a little minute, so I'm really feeling good on this one. Bend and straighten that leg. And then you can start to go deeper into that stretch. This morning I got on the reformer before I put it into a mat. And I tried to do a couple exercises and I was like, I have to stretch before, because sometimes when you're just way too tight, you're not getting into those muscles that you're trying to locate. Like my hip was so tight, I couldn't activate my glute. So I was forced into stretching it out first. One more breath there. And then release. Hook it to the toes. Toes pull down, heel pushes up. Breathe into the calf. And point and flex. And hold the toes down, heel up. And then back to the center of the foot, spiraling the thigh open and out to the side for inner thigh stretch. Pushing the right hip down, lengthen through the left heel. And breathe into that inner thigh. And the shoulders relax as you then find a little more length through that left inner thigh. Next exhale, we'll take that leg up to the sky and across the body. Stretch to the side of the hip, pushing the left booty cheek down. And the leg just comes any amount across. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Can you find a little more length for your left side? And then on your exhale, you'll melt into your spinal twist. You can put the ring to the side. And extend that leg out to straight. I don't know if you guys can hear, but my sacrum just popped back into place. Legs long, arms long, take a big long stretch. And then reaching the hands up to the sky, collarbone wide. You're gonna lift just the head, neck, and shoulders and reach your fingertips to your toes. And lower back down, feeling the upper abs. Arms all the way back, then take them over the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, press, reach forward. See that your pelvis is in neutral and lower back down. This one, reach all the way forward, hold the right leg a tiny bit off the mat, micro bit off the mat and lower down. Inhale, exhale, left leg, tiny bit off the mat and lower. Keep the movement really small with the legs, otherwise the hip flexor is gonna do the work and not your abs. Inhale, exhale. One more like that each way. Reach. So you feel your upper abs fold forward to lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Now stay with single leg, or we lift head, neck, and shoulders, and both legs are gonna float an inch up off the mat and lower. If that's not feeling good for your back, then you keep single leg, lift. We've got 2 more, both legs up if that's available for your body. Last one, lift and hold. Pull the abs in, squeeze forward the floor, and lower all the way back down. Reach the arms long. Bend the knees, bring the feet to the mat, hands down by your sides. And just take a couple times to arch and imprint your spine to loosen up any tension. And notice what your 2 extremes are, and then settle back into your neutral. Having that tiny bit of space underneath your low back, which is because your hip bones are in line with your pubic bone and your pelvis is in its neutral position. And then maybe I like to take my thumbs onto the back bottom ribs and pull them away from my bum. So I find a little more length there, and then try to soften the front ribs into the body. So now from the hips to the ribs, everything is in its secure, locked in Pilates neutral position. Let's relax the arms on the sides and then bring the right leg to tabletop. Bring the left leg up to meet it without losing what we just set up. Shoulders relax, draw the abs in, march the right toes any amount forward, and then drag it back up. Left toes dip forward and come up. So maybe it's 1 inch down, maybe the toes touch the mat to the front edge. It's up to you, but the telltale sign is what's happening in your center. Are you able to maintain the neutral spine we set up? The legs are only there to challenge that. So your abs should be working like crazy. Toe tap forward. Shoulders relax. Neck is long. So if you feel tension in your upper body, then the abs probably aren't doing enough work, and don't take the legs as far. 2 more single leg. Pull the belly in. Last one like that each way. And bring it back to tabletop. Float the hands an inch up off the mat. Lift the head, neck, shoulders, reaching the fingertips to the front edge of the mat. And we're gonna do single leg again, but we're gonna flex the feet and we're gonna go a little faster. We're gonna go dip and switch and switch. So just adding the speed to challenge the stability. Breathe. Reach the fingertips a little further forward. You have a line between your chin and your chest. It's very soft in your jaw. 2 more. Hold the belly in. Last one. Bring it back to center. Hug the knees in and relax. Let your head rock side to side. We'll bring the legs back up to tabletop. Relax the arms down for the moment. Squeeze the thighs together. Knees and ankles. Everything pushes to center. Draw the belly in. Point the toes and dip both legs any amount forward where you're not losing neutral, and then bring the legs back up. So maybe you start with just 1 inch and then you slowly go a little bit lower, or maybe you can go all the way down. I'm not sure where your body is today. I know my body needs to go slow with it. Otherwise, I feel like I'm going to start to arch my spine, and you don't want to feel that. You don't want to be pressing it all the way in, but you don't want to let the legs take your spine opening more. How far can the legs go without losing neutral? And the awesomest thing about being on Zoom is nobody can see how far your legs are going. So you're not in a classroom where you're like, oh, my legs should go further. You can be really tuned into what's happening in your transverse abdominis. Are you lifting out of your pelvic floor to help stabilize in the low abs? 2 more like that. Shoulders relax. Last one. And bring the legs up. Hug the knees in. Take the knees, stir them in the hip sockets, because those hip flexors love to do the work. And then you're not letting your abs be the star. Reverse your circles. So if ever they're feeling tight, come back to this. Just stirring them in opposite directions to let go. And then we'll bring it back to center, legs back to table. Hands reach up to the sky. Press the back of the skull down into the mat. Press your back bottom ribs down, staying in neutral, draw the abs in. Reach the right arm backwards and your left leg forward at the same time and bring it back to center. Other side, you lengthen and bring it to center. So get really long without losing neutral. How long can you reach the fingertips and the toes while maintaining that strong center? Zipping the abs down. And then if this feels like it's going great, you can then lift the head, neck, and shoulders. And sometimes one doesn't mean because the head, neck, and shoulders up, it's going to be harder. Maybe the challenge for connecting in with your abs was harder with the head down. Breathe. Sometimes with the head down, it does make it a little harder to connect in with the abs. The abs are forced into working once we lifted the head, neck, and shoulders. So maybe it's a different challenge. Last one. Bring everything back to center, hug it in, and relax. Shoulders relax. And then let's bring the legs to the table. Reach the hands up to the sky. Draw the abs in. Inhale, exhale. We're going to press the hands towards the hips, extend the legs at a high diagonal, and draw it back in. Inhale, exhale. Lift head, neck, and shoulders. Extend the legs, high diagonal, and draw it in. Exhale. So you feel your abs sink down. This one, let's stay lifted for the hundreds. Inhale, exhale, lift, lengthen, hold, and start to pump the arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Drawing the abs in, lift out of your pelvic floor. Inhale, and exhale. Exhale, so you're in neutral. If you need to bend your legs, do that. If you want them lower to the mat, do that. 2 more sets. Inhales. And then we're going to hug everything in and relax it down. Let your head rock side to side. And let's bring the feet down to the mat and set up for some bridging. So we can take the spine in a different direction and loosen that up as well. Arms relaxed by your sides, feet are hip width apart. Heels are just a little bit to the front of the knees, so just a little bit away from you. Energetically feel, before we even move, that you can energize the back of the legs, like your heels are coming towards your bum. Tuck your pelvis and roll your hips up into your bridge. Pushing your hips up high, squeeze the glutes, and then sequentially rolling your spine all the way down. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, roll all the way up, lifting the hips high, firming up the bum, and then sequentially rolling it down. Lifting all the way up. Feel the knees get longer to the front and all the way down. One more time in your full bridge, and then we'll hold it up. Peeling all the way out and all the way back down. So you've got the activation. Roll all the way up and we hold. Push the hips up a little bit higher. Firm up the booty. Wide through the collarbones so the neck is really long. Now drop your bum to touch the mat and press up and lift. So you just lower and neutral, press up, squeeze. You stay activated in the booty. Lower and lift. Press the big toe mound down, press your pinky toe down. Energetically, that heel feels like it can pull towards you. So you've got that activation through the back of the leg. Lift, squeeze, down, up, squeeze at the top. Hold this one all the way up. Collarbone is wide, lift the hips a little bit higher, and now uphold, uphold. So the bum stays tight and you just go up and hold it. So it stays firm and you just go firmer. Uplift, uplift. Stays open. Neck is free here for 3, 2, hold it up, lift your heels. Maybe that means you want to walk your toes backwards a little bit. So adjust where you need to. Freedom in your neck. Lift the hips a little bit higher, press that big toe mound down, the pinky toe down, and your bum should just be burning, holding it here. Tap your butt down to the mat and then press up and reactivate. Lower, up, squeeze. Down, up, and lift. And squeeze. Press. Collarbone is wide. Press, hold. For 3 more like that. There's 2. Uphold it here. Lift a little bit higher and press uphold, uphold. Imagine you have that ball between your thighs, so give some energy to the inner thighs here. For 5. Last one, we're going to tap the right heel down and then lift. Lower the left heel and lift. So nothing moves, just the heel is lowering and lifting. And hopefully you have some energy happening in the legs, in the thighs, in the bum. Pull your belly in and reach your sits bones a little bit towards your calves so you're not sinking into your low back. 1 more each way like that. Both heels up and then drop both heels, walk the feet to the outside edges of the mat. Maybe they need to walk away from you a little bit. Just adjust where you need to, but press your hips a little bit higher and reach your sits bones towards your calves. Feel the burn here. Now lift your toes. Dig your heels down, tap your butt down, press up and hold. Does anybody feel this in their butt? I hope it's not just me because I haven't done it in weeks. Down, up, and lift. I always have the realization when I have a little break from Pilates, how effective Pilates is, because when we're doing it all the time, it's working, but we don't feel it as much. It's just maintaining. Now, when you don't do it, you're like, oh my gosh, why am I not maintaining this all the time? Hold it all the way up. Lift a little bit higher, tap the thighs to touch each other and open. They go in and out. Squeeze and open. Push the hips a little bit higher. And then hold the knees open, lift the hips a little bit higher, reach your sits bones to the front. So it's that slight tuck in the pelvis and tiny pulse up, up, up. Breathe for 5. And last one, drop the feet. Walk the feet back to hip width apart. And then just press the hips, uphold, uphold, ground the feet down, uphold for 5, 3, 2, last one, sequentially rolling your spine all the way back down and give the knees a little hug here. We'll cross the right ankle over the left knee. Thread your hands behind the left thigh. Press the right thigh away from you with your right elbow and stretch out that hip and glute. Drop your tailbone a little bit and pull the left thigh in a little bit further. And we'll switch sides. Pulling the right thigh in as you push the left thigh away. And stretch this out because we're going to go into single leg bridge in 1 second. And then release both feet down. 1 more time here. You're going to peel the hips all the way up into that bridge. Bring the right leg into tabletop. Lift the hips a little bit higher. Push your right sits bone to the front. Extend your right leg straight out to the front and pull it back into table. It goes out and in, and we lengthen and in without letting the hips drop. So lift your right hip a little bit higher, and then keep your right leg extended. Kick the leg to the sky, flex and pull it down. Point to lift, flex to pull. Point and lift, flex to pull. The next time it stays up to the sky, lift the hips a little bit higher, and then little pulses up to the sky. Press up, 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 feeling that left hamstring and glute for 5. Last one, hold it, lift a little bit higher, and then place that foot on the mat. Push the hips up. Commit to staying up. Push your sits bones to your calves. Bring your left leg to table, and then press out and in. Keeping the hips even, not letting the left hip drop. Press and in. Keep the leg extended long. Point to lift, flex to drag it down. We point up, flex and pull. Point up, flex and pull. Staying strong in the right side, not letting the pelvis shake. Bring the leg all the way up and hold. Lift the hips higher, and now press up. Little lifts. And lift for 5, Last one, place that foot down, push the hips up, sequentially rolling yourself all the way down to your tailbone touches, reach your hands up to the sky, walk the feet a little bit to the front, and then roll yourself up onto your sits bones, coming all the way up, and scoop and roll it all the way back down. Inhale, exhale, peeling all the way up, using those strong abs, and all the way down. This one will stay up. Inhale, exhale, roll all the way up. And then we're going to glue the heels together, turn the toes apart, lift the heels, fingertips touch your ankles, pull the heels in towards you. We're going to tuck the pelvis, roll to your shoulder blades, and come up and balance on your sits bones. 3 more like that for rolling like a ball. Roll, keep your heels close to your bum, use your abs as a brake to help stabilize you as you come up. 1 more, up and hold, legs to table. Grab behind your thighs, lift yourself up, roll your shoulder blades down. Can you just pull your spine a little bit further out of your pelvis? Draw your abs in. We're going to kick the toes up to the sky, tap them down to the mat. Kick them to the sky, pull the thighs in towards you. Now maybe you can release the hands off the legs and we lift and lower. Lift out of your low abs. You want to lift out of your pelvic floor to help find that stabilization. Last one. Come back to table and then sequentially place your spine vertebra by vertebra down into the mat. Once your shoulder blades hit the mat, we drop the pelvis into neutral, extend the left leg long, frame the right knee for a single leg stretch. Then we go switch and switch. Long leg. So the pelvis is in neutral. You have that little bit of space underneath your low back. Pull your abs in. Soft through your jaw. Breathe. And we'll go a little faster for 5. Breathe. 4, 3, 2. You got 1 more here. Pull those abs in, bring it back to center, hug it in, and relax. Let your head rock side to side, let your shoulders relax. And then we'll bring it to table. Reach the hands to the sky for double leg stretch. We float the head, neck, and shoulders up, reaching just past your knees. Extend the arms and the legs long. Circle, bring it to center. Inhale to find that length. Exhale. Lift out of your pelvic floor. Breathe. So the legs just return back to table. The shoulders stay lifted. 2 more. You've got that line between your chin and your chest. 1 more time. And bring it back to center and hug it in and relax. Can rock around. Whatever is going to let you let go of tension so you can regroup and feel stronger as we come into the next exercise. And legs come to table. You reach the hands to the sky. Float the head, neck, and shoulders up as you kick the legs up to the sky. Lengthen your left leg long, gently grab behind your right thigh and a little double pull that leg in. Scissor the legs, pull, pull. Exhale on the scissor. Inhale when the leg is up. Exhale. With a little double sniff in. You can also grab up towards your ankle if that means you're not pressing your low back into the mat. Inhale and exhale. Zip the abs in. 3 more. Breathe. 2. Last one each way. Back to center, both legs up. Hug it in and relax. Draw circles on the ceiling with your nose because tension loves to come into the neck. Reverse your circle. Also circle your ankles around. Sometimes all that pointing gets a little tension in there. And we'll bring the feet down to the mat just to regroup for the most challenging double straight leg lower. So make sure your pelvis is in neutral, abs are strong. Bring your legs one at a time to tabletop. Bring fingertips behind the ears. So elbows are wide to the side and it's just a light support on the head. Exhale to float the head, neck, and shoulders up. Extend the legs up to the sky. Pelvis stays in place. Glue the heels from the toes apart slightly and let your legs lengthen away from you. And then drag the legs back up. Inhale to find length without letting any movement happen in the low back. And from your low abs, they pull up. Maybe one hand stays behind the head. Maybe one hand comes onto your belly. Sometimes I like to feel that space in between my hip points and my pubic bone. Is it staying firm there? Is my pelvis staying in place? You can also do this with the legs and tabletop. 3 more. Extend. 2. 1 more. And bring the legs all the way back up. Hug it all the way in and relax. Stir the legs in the hip sockets. We're going to come into crisscross. And then let's bring the legs to the table, hands behind the head. Lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Extend the left leg long, and we'll twist the torso to bring the left shoulder in the direction of the right knee and rotate back to center. Up, over, twist, and center, and twist. Can you keep your collarbone wide? Can you keep those elbows wide to the sides? It's about the bottom rib pulling across the body. So it's not about the elbow just coming across. The elbow goes along for the ride. 3 more each way. Twist and center. Bringing out your obliques as you twist your body across, keeping the pelvis still. 1 more each way. And we'll bring everything back to center and relax. Take a long stretch here. Imagine someone's pulling your body apart from either side. Shake it out, let everything go. And then we'll reach the hands up to the sky. Firm the back of the thighs down. Inhale, pull the abs in. Exhale to peel yourself above the mat. Up, 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 up. Reaching up and over and stretch to your toes. Grab your light weights. And to our arms and abs. So again, legs are long, sit up tall, elbows tuck into your sides. So just find that length in your spine here. Push the top of your head to the sky, push the elbows into your sides, and then we open and close. So you're gonna keep the elbows tucking in as you just create some expansion through the collarbone. It's really to work on posture, because so often we're here. So how tall can you stay and widen the collarbone? And push the top of your head up to the sky. Hold the arms open and tiny pulses out. Imagine you're just holding a glass in your hand. For 5. And last one, bring the arms back to center. Press the arms forward and roll down. And then pull the elbows in as you come up. So you're gonna roll down to your shoulder blades. Down to the shoulder blades, arms up, and then pull it in. 2 more like that. Soften the legs so they're not doing all the work. 1 more. Come up and now extend the arms forward and bicep curls. Bend, extend. Bend and extend. And hold both arms out. Turn the palms towards each other, roll the shoulder blades down, and then alternating bicep curl here. Breathe. So we're controlling those abs like crazy to hold us in that half rolled back position. Last one each way. Both arms out, sit up tall, send the arms back. Palms face each other, widen the collarbone again back into our posture and just press the hands in and in and in. Collarbone is wide. And hold them in and then press them up to the sky, press up. So the spine is long. Try not to let your head fall off your shoulders. Just think length for 5. And last one, send the arms back forward, turn the palms towards each other, roll back halfway and hinge the arms open and hug around a balloon. Just pull your belly button in. The arms just hinge open and they close. Hinge open and close. 2 more. Last one, bring it back to center. Sitting up tall, place your weight to the side and let's take a little quick stretch across. I want to get into glute booty work, other side. And we're gonna lay down on the left side. Take a sip. Otherwise I'm not gonna be able to speak for the rest of the class. Okay, so let's come down. Lay all the way out long like you're on a balance beam. Your head could be on your arm. It could be propped up. Let's bring the legs a micro inch forward. So once the body's straight, just bring the heels a touch to the front of the body. Pushing the top hip away from you, pull the bottom waistline up, wrap the ribs in, and then lift the top leg up in line with the hip. Feel like someone's got your heel and pulls your leg a little bit longer away from you. Now you sweep the leg forward and point and kick it back. Your front hand can be your kickstand. If you need that extra little stability, it could also be on your hip if you don't need that. You flex to bring it forward, point and sweep. Flex forward, point and sweep. drawing the belly into the spine. And then hold that leg backwards and little tiny presses back. So you firm the tush, keep the firmness, and then just do little pulses there. Hold it there in a tiny little lift. So it's a tiny bit back from your body and you're just doing a micro lift. Push the hip away from you and then bring it back to center, spiral the thigh to the sky, lengthen the leg to the sky, flex as you drag it down. So it's like you've got a really strong rubber band on that leg as you pull resistance both ways with control. Because you could kick your leg around and nothing can happen, but you could really energize your leg and make a lot happen. Hold this one to the sky. We spiral the thigh open. So we really opened up here to get out of the hip, and then circles. That's because you need the opening, the external rotation to have the mobility. And then reverse. And then we hold it, flex the foot. Get a little bit longer through the leg, and then let the leg fall forward right in front of your hip, and then let it sweep back up to the sky. It's not going to touch the floor. It goes straight down in front of your hip, and then it sweeps right back up. So all that side booty action. Forward, and it sweeps back up. 2 more like that. 1 more. But now we're going to meet with the leg to the front. So bring it forward and just hold it, and little tiny bend straight in, tiny kicks, kick, kick. 3, 2, last 1, sweep the leg back, bend both knees, clamshells. Heels are in line with your tailbone, push the top hip away, and then just open and close. So starting with the heels on the mat. Because sometimes even the simplest movement, when we do it right, is going to be the hardest. When you start to add tricks in, it takes away from what the original focus was. So you really want to find your form, long side body, and squeeze that glute. Now, if you want, you can angle the ankles up, lift the bottom thigh. So you're balancing, and then same thing here. But if you felt like you were getting more out of getting the glute med when the bottom leg was down and you weren't balancing, then stick with that, because that's where the focus is here. The lifting the legs is just like a little add-on. And then hold this one up and tiny pulses up. For 5. Last one. We're going to let both legs come down, rotate knee to knee, toe to ankle, knee to knee, and toe to ankle. So that internal to external rotation. Lubricating the hip joint. Tap in and down. And then knee down, toe up, and tiny pulse up. For 5. Hold it. This time the leg is going to kick back. Tap it down, kick out and back. Down, kick out, back. So it goes out and up at a diagonal without doing anything crazy with your spine. You're just staying in neutral. And then keep the leg out and up, and small pulse up here. Get longer through the leg for 5. And last one, bring it all the way in. You punch that booty out, and then legs come forward to 90 degrees. So lining up your knees with your hips. It's like you're on your back in tabletop and you just fell down to your side. Push the top hip away, poke your bum back a little bit, flex both feet, lift the top leg as far as you can without rolling backwards, and then almost touch down. Lift. Really resist as the leg is lowering, like it's opposing magnets coming together. We lift and lower. We have squeeze. Breathe. Can you relax the shoulder? Can you stay in neutral, not keep any tension in the upper body? You got to multitask like crazy. And then come down halfway and hold it in tiny circles. Pull the belly in, reverse your circle. And hold, kick the leg out, pull it in. Kick out and pull it in. Press and in. And press. 3 more. Lengthen. 2. Last one, lengthen, hold it out. Lower the bottom leg, lower both legs. And then lift yourself up onto your bottom forearm. Legs can stay stacked, or they can be one in front of the other. We're going to just bring the hand to the hip, lift the hips up, and we're in our side plank and lift. Neil, are you doing story today? No pressure. Don't worry. And then we're gonna lower down, flip your head to the other edge of the mat. Neil,
Yes.
did you want to do story today?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thanks. I just want to make sure. Lay all the way down. However you set up on the other side, and then we'll bring legs a touch forward. Push the top hip away, lift the top leg. Flex the foot, we sweep it forward, and then point and kick it back. Flex forward and point and squeeze. The pelvis is staying still. It's stacked up and even. We're adding that movement to challenge the stability. So even as your leg goes back, we're not rocking back. Let's bring the leg all the way to the back and then small press back. So firm the tush and then just keep it tight and activated. And then hold it back, small pulse up. For 5. Last one, bring it back to center, spiral the thigh open, and then we kick the leg to the sky, flex and pull it down, and we lift, flex and pull. Breathe. The next one is going to stay to the sky. We lift and hold, spiral the thigh open, and we draw our circles. Can the leg get a little bit longer? And then reverse. And we hold it there, flex the foot as the leg comes forward in front of the hip, and it goes right back up to the sky. It comes forward, the pelvis stays still. Your bum is pushing back just a little. 2 more. Last one. But then we'll meet with the leg down, hold, push the butt back, and tiny bend kick. It's a micro bend of the knee. It's just a slight release and press for 5. And last one, bring the leg all the way back, bend the knees, glue the heels, and then we go to clamshells. So starting with the legs down, are the ribs still wrapping in? So if the upper body is not in the right position, your ribs might be flaring. So just check in with yourself. And then maybe if you did so, you could lift the bottom leg and we balance and same thing. But whatever is going to help you get that glute med. Breathe. And then hold it up and tiny pulses up. Any amount that's going to allow you to stay still for 4. And lower that leg, rotating knee to knee, toe to ankle. Knee to knee and toe to ankle. So the pelvis is still while the action is happening inside of the hip socket. Keeping the leg firm. And then next one, we'll keep the knee down and tiny pulse up. And then we'll kick it all the way out, back at a diagonal and down. So it goes up and back and press. Without rolling forward. We're on our balance beam still. And we'll keep the leg out and tiny pulses up. For 5. And last one, bring it all the way in. You can punch that glute out and then bring the knees 90 degrees directly in front of you. Poke your bum back, flex your feet. And then we'll just press the top leg up and down. And we lift and lower. Remember, you want this top hip pushing away from you. So create as much length in your top waistline as you can. Lift. And then we'll bring it down halfway, hold, and tiny stirs. Flex that foot like you could almost kick through your heel with the energy and reverse. And then hold and just kick it out and drag it in. Out, hold and in. For 4, breathe. 2, last one, lengthen out and hold. Let the bottom leg go out, lower that down and prop yourself up onto your bottom forearm. Setting up for your side plank, however you did on the other side, we're gonna go right into our regular plank and into a downward dog. So just know where we're going. Top hand to your hip, let's lift those hips up. Lengthen the top arm up to the sky. Create that length all the way from the heels to the head. And then you're gonna roll forward into your front forearm plank. Hang out there for a second, find your stability, press your palms down. Draw the abs in as you just make your way onto your hands. Just to restack and rebuild. Pull the belly up and in. And then let's take it to our downward dog. And lift those sits bones high to the sky. You can run your knees out here, taking whatever last little movement you might need. And then slow walk of your toes to your hands. So the toes come forward towards the hands, till the forward. And then you're gonna hang out there, feet are hip width apart. Just let everything go. You can let your hands release and just sway. You can bounce, whatever your body's asking for at the moment. See that the feet are hip width apart though, because that's going to be our strong base to rebuild. Soften the knees, draw the abs in, and we're going to slowly start to roll your spine up to restacking longer, taller, and stronger than before class. All the way up to stand. Rolling the shoulders down. You've got that strong base now. Take a nice big inhale up. And exhale. And thanks, Pilates Hotties, for coming to class today.